to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and the route is on here in this first half. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. A little too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman, and he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And time to spotlight Golden Tate, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Hey, kill. Here we go.
Here's Sproles. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Sunday. There we go, back man.
Wentz now to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the 1st down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Sproles. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
There we go, back man.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
There we go, back man.
Working from the gun, Wentz. A dump off to Smallwood. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought. Down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
From the red zone now, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, with us this year. Glad to have him, and we will look ahead to all the action coming up this weekend at intermission, as well as look back on this first half. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Here we go, 120.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. For Dallas Goedert, a really cool moment, his first NFL touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week one. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Elliott now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ryan on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy.
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
To throw is Ryan. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it'll bring up third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Well, look at Darren Sproles as he works his way back onto the field for this next go-around. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On second down, here's Wentz. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles continue to roll.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion.